bruised ribs. And we'll check on Stratford for you. Receivers a pretty good core. They'll use a lot of people. And one of them is Darren Flutie, the younger brother of Doug Flutie. Big offensive line right there. Stratford, number 23, is in the ballgame along with Turner, 40 out of the eye. They fake it to Stratford, and Camphouse, the first pass of the ballgame, goes deep and overthrown. Looking long for a speedster, Kelvin Martin, but Eddie Johnson was back there on coverage, and Camphouse airs it out on the first try. 9 seniors on the Penn State defense, starting with that front 3. The linebackers is always very good, especially Shane Conlon, the All-American. The secondary, really the most inexperienced unit on the Penn State squad. They're anchored by strong safety Ray Isom. 2nd and 10 for BC. And they come out throwing. Dombrowski checks in at a flanker spot, number 44. Flutie is out. Camphouse gives it to Stratford, and the tailback goes up the middle, gets maybe 2. Shane Conlon in on the stop, number 31, and he's going to be in there almost every time.
Well, Coach Paterno said Shane Conlon, number 31, maybe the best backer they've ever had. He's tough, he's very fast, he's able to move laterally. Look at him jump over the blocker and come in and make the tackle. And when he hits you, he brings you down. He doesn't want you to get back up.
Tim Johnson, the tackle, also in there. Flutie comes back in. Dombrowski, 44, goes out on 3rd and 5 for Camphouse. The sophomore who directed the winning touchdown drive a week ago against California. Got pretty good protection. Throws over the middle, complete. It's going to be a first down for Boston College at their own 43-yard line, and he hit Kelvin Martin. The tackle made by the linebacker, Trey Bauer. And Pat, you know this offense like the back of your hand.
Well, motion's very important. They're going to put number 82, Kelvin Martin, in motion. They want to get an isolation where he can find a zone, find an open area. He just sits down. Perfect throw by Camphouse. You're going to see a lot of that. Mark is good at finding the open receiver.
Comes out of Moeller High School in Cincinnati. John Schaefer, his opponent at quarterback, also played there. Flag is down on the play as they give it to the fullback Turner, and he's held up at the line of scrimmage. We'll check the call for you. May not have gotten the play off in time. 25-second clock may have expired on it.
One thing we've seen thus far is BC wants to throw the ball upfield. I don't think they can make a living off of Penn State's defense with these short dump passes. They got to get the ball upfield.
Procedure call against Boston College. That'll cost him 5. It's going to be a great feeling for Camphouse to be starting his first game against Penn State, you know?
Well, it's a thrill. If it goes well, he'll be especially happy. A lot of pressure right now on him.
Yeah, there's good news and bad news in that story. It's going to be 1st and 15 right now for the young man. 6'1", 184. He's mobile, has a little bit better than an average arm, but very bright, and he knows the offense. Turner, the fullback, the lone remaining back, and we have 3 wide receivers in there. Conlon on a blitz, and they'll come near side and complete the pass to Tom Waddle. Waddle was the favorite receiver of Camphouse at Moeller in Cincinnati. Marcus Henderson, the hero in Penn State's defensive scheme, makes the tackle.
Penn State plays basically a zone defense. If Camphouse has time to drop back and throw, he'll be able to hit these underneath receivers, and it's up to them to turn the ball up and pick up the extra 5 or 6 yards after the catch. That was perfect execution.
Going to be 2nd and 5 right now. Waddle had missed the first 2 games with injuries. Stratford had missed 1. Ball spotted at the BC 49-yard line, and everybody moves. We'll sort this one out for you. Looked like the left side of Boston College line jumped as one of the Penn State players was making a stunt. Of course, he can stunt and get back if he does before the snap. The offensive line cannot move, and that's going to be the call 5-yard procedure penalty. And keep an eye on 64, number Joe Wolf, the
right
left
on the
guard.
left of your screen. These are the kind of mistakes BC can't afford to make. This is 2 5-yard penalties in this drive. This is not going to help them move the ball against a Penn State defense.
Wolf is the only junior in that starting offensive line. Steve Trapillo, the right guard, is the only one left from the Secret Service. That interior line that protected Doug Flutie so well. Stratford and Bronner are the running backs, and they'll put Stratford on a wing on 2nd and 9. And now he'll go in motion. They want to get him the ball any way they can. Camphouse flushed out of the pocket and slipped, kept his feet. Still in trouble. They say he was down at the 31-yard line. Camp House doesn't think so, and neither does the crowd, and Stratford comes in to plead his case. Don Graham and Shane Conlon, the defensive ends, outside linebackers, were making the rush, and Jack Bicknell didn't like the call at all. Let's take a look.
One thing, a lot of young quarterbacks, they get flushed out of the pocket. Now, in this case, I think he's up. I don't think he's down. That's a great athletic play.
He's
His
not
knee did
down.
not go down. He should be up. I don't know about that call.
You have to wonder how they can be 3 feet away from it and make the call when his knee obviously didn't even come close to going down. But it's a loss of 11, and it'll make it 3rd and 20 for Camp House. And now he'll go to the shotgun. But he didn't get the play off in time, and they'll cost him 5 more on the delay.
I was trying to allude to earlier, Mike, a lot of young quarterbacks, they'll drop back into the pocket. They'll get flushed too early. He could have stepped up in that play. Didn't need to run wide. Penn State has such great pursuit. He's going to get in trouble like that. He's going to get sacked for 15, 20-yard losses, where he might be able to get the ball off and only lose 5, even if he gets sacked, if he stays in the huddle, in the pocket.
And it is a delay call, so it's going to be 3rd and a quarter mile for Boston College, and this is not the kind of thing you want for an inexperienced quarterback. Stratford and Bronner, the running backs, as they'll go to the shotgun. 3rd and 25. Penn State showing a 4-man front. They'll come with 3. Draw play. Stratford, forget it. Wrapped up at the 25-yard line, and Mike Russo just gave him the big bear hug and slammed him down. Russo, the man who intercepted the pass to win last year's game between these two. David Rooney, the left-footed one-step punter, is in. And Jim Coates is the deep man, standing at the 30-yard line. That is Coates, not Pellegatti. Bad kick. Taken by one of the up men on a fair catch, the 49-yard line. Taken by Ray Ison, the strong safety. A poor punt will give Penn State excellent field position when we come back.
An urgent message from the Mazda hotline. 626s are really moving at your Mazda dealer's year-end clearance. Mazda 626, the family sedan with world-class road car credentials. With standard features like front-wheel drive, independent rear suspension, and fuel-injected engine, it's already an outstanding value. But during your Mazda dealer's year-end clearance, the deals are even better. See him today and save.
It's time for another Safeco Insurance Pop Quiz. Here's today's question. You can save on Safeco's new Quality Plus Auto Insurance, A, if you own a safe car, B, if you own your own home, or C, if you own a leisure suit. If you answered C, you'll have to be retested. But if you answered A or B, you may be able to get more protection for your money with Safeco Auto Insurance. The smart choice.
The strongest teams in the Yankee Conference, Maine and Boston University in an ESPN college football special. Live Thursday night at 8 Eastern.
We're at Boston College and Penn State. We thank you for the welcome. Had a pleasurable time here, especially until tonight when it started to rain and get cold. Penn State leading 7-0, 9:21 to go in the quarter. The Nittany Lions have the ball at their own 49-yard line. Hamilton in motion. The draw to Smith. Got to midfield and no more. They'll stack him up. And they got there with Degnan and Nugent and Thompson. Doug Flutie on the sidelines, the miracle worker who brought Boston College back to the attention of college football. Boy, he was something to watch. That's what college football was really all about. They called the last play no gain, although the ball has moved half a yard to the 50. 2nd and 9. Dozier 42 and Smith 33 are the backs. Behind Schaefer, who wants to throw. Goes on the quick out, and it's incomplete, throwing for Hamilton. And we've got a flag down near where Hamilton was running his pattern. Garrick McPherson may get called for a late hit after the pass. And if it was a late hit, there was absolutely no reason for it because the pass was about 5 yards off target. Now, that's the kind of penalty that really hurts your club. You want to go out and hit somebody, that's fine. It's football, but do it while the play is going on.
Well, it's fine to be emotional, to be fired up for a game, but you have to stay under control. This is unnecessary. Ball's way overthrown. Garrick McPherson just comes up. There's no reason to do that. That should be a penalty. That's not a part of football. Yep. Shouldn't be a part anyway.
4 penalties already against Boston College for 30 yards. Been their own worst enemies in the first quarter with the penalties and the fumble, and they trail 7-0. First down, Nittany Lions at the BC 35, and this is putting a lot of pressure on the Eagle defense. Hamilton, the man in motion. Roundtree is the flanker to the near side, and Schaefer to throw. 4-man rush all the time in the world. Throw is complete. Got his tight end, Brian Seiberling, to the far side. Steve Williams, their best cover man, was out there to make the tackle for Boston College, but Schaefer was really on target.
I think if I had a tight end that was 6'7", like Brian Seiberling is, he can run very well, I think I'd go to him too. He's a heck of a basketball player, but that shows Schaefer's confidence. They're going to throw on first down this year. Penn State's going to move the ball.
Schaefer had 3 touchdowns 2 weeks ago in his first game. That's what he did against Temple. 66.7%, completed less than 50% a year ago. Dozier on the sweep, can't get outside. Great job by Romanowski. He just trailed him out there along with Ted Gaffney, number 57, but Romanowski was the man who got there, and he's the man they look to make all those tackles. He had 150 a year ago. It's a lot of tackles.
Oh, he's a great player. He had 13 against Penn State 2 years ago. He can play the game.
And he came off the bench to do that. That's what got him his starting job in the Boston College defense. There's Romanowski, 53. Second down and 10. Penn State will run it out of the eye this time. Both wide receivers to the short side of the field. Now they'll send Hamilton in motion. Schaefer wanted the quick pass, couldn't get it, then looks deep and threw it away. Great coverage on Roundtree. Perrell was trying to give him some pressure. Let's go to Larry Burnett in the studio for an update.
All right, gentlemen, number 5, Nebraska got off to a quick start tonight. They have not stopped at Champaign, Illinois. Right now, the score is 35-7. Here's how it got going. First play from scrimmage, Shane Lamb. Pass bounces off of Darrell Usher into the hands of Brian Davis. He goes 36 yards for the touchdown. It was 7-0 then. It is now 35-7. Nebraska leading that game in Champaign.
It's very difficult when you're good and also get the breaks. Schaefer on 3rd and 10. Throws over the middle. Incomplete. Almost intercepted, and there is a flag down. They tried to hit Seiberling. And all over him was Carl Crashpain. The safety may have hit him a little early. And it's interference against Boston. No, Penn State. Boy, the crowd was holding its breath. This is
number 91, Brian Seiberling. Now, he is a basketball player, as I said. I think he used a little bit of rebounding position there. He pushed off the defender. That is a good call by the referee. You can't use your body. You can't push the linebacker away from you to get open.
And let's see where they'll mark it now. It's back at the 34-yard line. And it's also 4th down. Second penalty against Penn State. So Monka will come in, and he will try a long field goal out of the hole to backup quarterback Matt Kisner, number 7. Monka's longest field goal of his career, 53 yards. This one is close. It's 51. And he's 1 out of 1 on field goals this year. Got a chance, but he hooked it wide. And Boston College has dodged a bullet. 7:22 to go, first quarter. Penn State still by a touchdown.
An urgent message from the Mazda hotline. RX-7s are included in your Mazda dealer's year-end clearance. RX-7, Motor Trend's Import Car of the Year, winner of the IMSA GTU Championship 7 years straight, and the current SCCA Pro Rally Manufacturers Champion. RX-7, it's always been a red-hot performer. Now the deals are hot, too. Hurry to your Mazda dealer's year-end clearance.
Today's small cars are tougher than ever on oil. Their high-compression engines not only rev high, they can run hotter than regular small car engines. Their searing heat can begin to break down an oil immediately. That's why there's Castrol, the only leading motor oil that in every grade provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol before your engine does something to get you heated up. Castrol, engineered for today's smaller cars.
Got 7 minutes and 22 seconds to go. First quarter of play from Sullivan Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Penn State leading 7-0. Boston College has just avoided making it a 10-0 score as Monka misses on the long field goal. And the Eagles will have the ball at their own 34. So Camphouse, the sophomore quarterback making the first start of his college career, will have a little bit better field position. The remaining back in the backfield is Turner, and he'll get it on the fullback play up the middle to the 40-41-yard line. Russo had a hold of his ankles. Giftopoulos also in on the stop for the Nittany Lions.
And one thing that Joe Paterno was concerned about is that the whole coaching staff for Penn State was so confused. BC ran 56 times last week, and that's not Jack Bicknell. They don't know what to expect tonight.
It's almost a season. 56 times. Of course, they've had the quarterback problems that we alluded to. There's a gain of 7 for Turner, who averaged 3.1 so far this season. Stradford is back in at the tailback spot. He's playing with badly bruised ribs, wearing a flak jacket. So the first couple hits are going to be very important for him. He gets it up to the 45-yard line, and that should be good enough for a first down. Trey Bauer and Shane Conlon on the tackle. Those linebackers swarming for Penn State. And if you've never had, there's the flak jacket on Stradford, and it will take some of the punishment away, but sore ribs, when you breathe, they hurt. So a flak jacket only helps so much.
Well, it helps physically, but there's definitely a psychological problem there. Mentally, you know it's going to hurt when you get hit. But he's a tough kid, and they need him to have a big night tonight if they're going to win this game.
Only needs 90 yards to become the second all-time running back in Boston College history. Mike Esposito's #1. He's got a shot at his record. Camphouse back to throw, near sideline, and in and out of the hands of Darren Flutie. On coverage over there, Eddie Johnson. Looked like a catchable ball that time as Flutie was trying to reach for it and stay in bounds at the same time. Numbers on Camphouse so far. Does not look very shaken in his first start. I mean, we've seen a lot of quarterbacks this year starting their first game. They all seem pretty cool.
I think it's that extra year of preparation when they're not playing, whether they're redshirted or he didn't play his freshman year. It helps a lot.
Growing more calm 19-year-old quarterbacks these days. Stradford goes in motion on 2nd and long. Camphouse almost fell down coming out under center. Guns this one over the middle and had his man right in the hands of Pete Casparello, the tight end, and he lost it. Ray Isom was right there, but Camphouse has been betrayed by his receivers a couple times in a row. He's talking to Casparello as he comes back to the huddle.
Well, the ball's actually a little bit behind him on this. It's a tough catch. But actually, it was the receiver's fault because Camphouse was stopping him in the zone. He is a very mature quarterback. Casparello should have stopped and hooked up instead of gone into the safety like he was doing. That was a good throw.
That's what he told him when he came back. He said, if you have that seam, just hold up in there. 3rd and 10 from the 45. Martin, the man in motion, near side. Blitz. Camphouse is in trouble. Got rid of it and threw it to his fullback, Turner. Turner fumbled the ball out of bounds. They're going to call it an incomplete pass as Duffy Cobbs, the left corner, was over there on coverage. Camphouse at least got rid of it and avoided the sack.
Penn State succeeding in what they came into this game. They want to put pressure on the young quarterback. And again, he's not the fastest guy, but it was a good play to get rid of that ball. But if they continue having that kind of pressure, BC's not going to move the ball.
Rooney, who got off a wounded duck of 26 yards the first time, will kick to Coates, who's standing inside his own 20. Bad snap over his head. All the way back to the 12-yard line. And that's what he's going to do. That's a smart play by David Rooney, and the snap was airmailed back to the 10-yard line. And the crowd is a little bit stunned. They should have had excellent field position, and Jack McNeil cannot be very happy about it.
This is an absolute nightmare for a punter. I was glad I was 6'7". I could pull some of these down, but this was an absolute rocket. It's rising as it goes over his head. And he made the right play. He ran back here. Had he picked this ball up, got tackled, Penn State would have been in position for an easy touchdown. Take the ball, just give up the 2 points, regroup, punt the ball after the safety. The one thing he should have done there is he should have run out of bounds instead of allowing himself to be tackled because he could have fumbled. Just step out of the end zone. Boy, that's a tough break, though. Special teams, they need a big game from their special teams. They need some big returns, and they need a good kicking game. They're not getting it tonight so far.
Now the situation is going to be a free kick. They'll kick it from their own 20-yard line. It'll look like a punt in most cases. You can do whatever you want with it. And you can even onside kick, can't you?
That's right. Miami, Don Shula did it to us twice in the pros. But one thing I like to say right here as a punter, it's very difficult to come into a game. He had a 24-yarder or something his first punt tonight. 26-yarder. Then he had the ball snapped over his head. Now he's standing there all alone. There's no pressure, but if he doesn't hit it good, everybody knows it. So it's a good and bad situation. If you really jack it, you feel great, but if you don't hit it good, it's embarrassing.
Don't have to worry about the snap this time. Coates will go deep, along with Blair Thomas, number 32. And now they're going to tee it up.
He's punting.
No, Rooney's got to
You have to be careful not to go offsides here. A lot of times the kicking team will go offsides because they're not accustomed to this. Nice punt.
Coates at the 32. That's got a seam. 50. And just tripped up. Got to the 40-yard line. A 27-yard kick return by Jim Coates, and Penn State will set up shop in great position again.
Well, this is the optimum position for any return man. After a safety, you know you're going to have a lot of room to run to set up your blockers. He cuts right off the blocks. They're all clean blocks, which is unusual nowadays on special teams. He almost broke that for a touchdown. Had he kept his feet there, he had another lead blocker, he would have scored.
John Galvin was the man who made the tackle and saved possibly the touchdown. Penn State at the 41-yard line. Dozier on the toss. 35, 34-yard line. Once again, it was Romanowski dragging him down. Let's go down to Tim Brando on the sideline. Tim?
Gentlemen, so far the breaks of this game not going BC's way. That's Bill Thompson. He's got a sprained knee. He says he'll be back. The trainers say, hey, Bill, let's wait and see.
This is very much that has gone the way for Boston College so far. Second down, 4 yards to go. Ball spotted at the 34. Delay, Dozier. Not this time. They were all over him. And it was Nickerson and Romanowski making the tackle. Now let's check in with Larry Burnett. He has another update. Larry?
All right, Mike, quickly some updates on games in progress tonight. Number 18, Texas A&M is on top of North Texas State. That one is in the second quarter. Georgia Tech leading Virginia by 7 in that ACC encounter. And in the third, it is Akron leading Eastern Michigan by the score of 21-14. Let's go back now to Boston College and Penn State.
Thanks very much, Larry. It's 3rd and 1. Penn State has only had one try before on conversions and not made it. They'll make this one. Depending on the spot. It was Manoa carrying the ball for the first time, and Gaffney made the stop. One of the inside linebackers.
Now, football is such a strange game. You come into this, and everyone at BC is nervous about how Mark Camphouse is going to play. They get their special teams breakdowns.
He's played fine.
That's right. He's playing good, but they've given up 9 points.
Boston College injury, it appears to be 62. That's Carl Mayer, reserve defensive lineman, a 256-pound senior, and he is down. Manoa came in for his first carry of the ball game. Manoa is listed as being out of Pittsburgh, and that's where he played his high school ball, but he was born on the Isle of Tonga. Now that's, if you had to go there to recruit, that's not bad. Keep coming back to the head coach saying, I got to make a couple of more trips.
What does he think about this weather?
Yeah. We'll check on the injured player for you in just a moment. We've got 4:29 to go in the first quarter. Penn State 9, Boston College nothing.
ESPN's World Tour.
Waterbed Works has the Cincinnati area's finest waterbed selection. Here's a Calamus by Oakwood Interiors. Ochre pine with brass trim, bed, dresser, hutch and all, only $1599.98. Our black lacquer group features bed, dresser, mirror and chest for only $1399.98. Also comes in burgundy or gray. And for the kids, we've got the 4-foot by 7-foot super single-size waterbed with matching children's furniture as low as $169.95. All this and more at Waterbed Works, 6261 Glenway Avenue.
Would you take something from a bottle with a label like this? Probably not. Would you take something from a package with a label like this? Or this? Or this? Or this? And what if you knew that this announcement was being brought to you by the American Heart Association, the American Lung Association, and the American Cancer Society? In a way, doesn't this all add up to saying that cigarettes are like poison for your body?
Examines the oldest rivalry in pro football. Take a pregame look at Chicago and Green Bay, Monday on ESPN.
Penn State leading Boston College 9-0 first quarter, 4:29 to go here in the period, and they have the ball 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line of Boston College.
Don't be surprised to see Penn State put it up right now.
Give it to Dozier on the little delay, tries to cut it outside. Boza has him and would not let him go. The 270-pound senior who gives you an all-out effort every play picked off Dozier that time.
Well, John Boza, bench press is 410 pounds. He's got great speed, 4.85. They're really high on him here at BC. He really plays off the blocker there and makes the tackle. I think they should have play action that time and faked the ball and thrown.
It's a loss of 4 for Dozier, who now has a net 40 yards on the ball game. Coates is in as a wide receiver. He's to the far side along with Roundtree. They're looking for Coates, and it's almost intercepted. It is. Picked off by Boston College. Vincent Munn, number 28, the right corner, read the pass, and the first interception of the year against quarterback John Schaefer. Great defensive play by Munn as they were throwing for Coates.
This is one of the great disadvantages of throwing these out passes so far into the wide side of the field. He was a step late on the throw because it's a timing pattern. Munn just steps right in front of the ball. The ball was right there, but it gave Munn time to make the play. And that's exactly what a cornerback should do. BC needs some big plays. They got to gamble. Good play.
They needed the break and got it. Camphouse only 2 out of 6 so far, but he's had a couple of dropped. He's thrown the ball reasonably well. Turner, the fullback. Got maybe 2. Hit first by Don Graham, wrapped up by Russo, the nose guard. Joe Paterno has seen his team make its first mistake of the ball game, really. Schaefer on the sideline.
That's his first interception. He's got to keep the touchdown to interception ratio in his favor this year, or they're not going to win.
Sean Murphy, 89, a load at 245 pounds, is in at tight end as Casparillo checks out. They put Stratford on a wing and then send him in motion on 2nd and 8. Camphouse to throw, under some pressure, tipped and incomplete. He was throwing it for Murphy, but the pass was tipped at the line of scrimmage as Camphouse paid for standing in the pocket.
Tipped at the line of scrimmage, incomplete.
Let's watch Mike Russo, number 67 here. He's going to stunt outside. He's going to scrape around the corner. He's got the speed to get to the quarterback. Put a little pressure on him. Oh yeah, those defensive linemen, they like to introduce themselves early in the game. Even if they can't get the sack, they're going to make the quarterback know they were there.
Boston College trying to convert on 3rd down. They're 1 of 3 so far. This will be their 4th opportunity. And Camphouse will go into the shotgun as Penn State showed blitz and then apparently backed off of it. They'll go to Stratford on the delay, and Shane Conlon had him at the 26-yard line. Conlon was not fooled. He was coming all out, and he was just going to grab the first person that had the ball and throw him down.
Well, Shane Conlon is an All-America. As we said, he may be the best to ever play at Penn State. He sometimes gets in the backfield almost faster than the backs. He's just going to go right by the blocker, just takes him right down. That didn't help the ribs any, I'll tell you.
Rooney is in to punt. He's had a tough night. A 26-yard kick and a snap that sailed over his head for a safety. He'll get rid of this one. And Coates signals for the fair catch. Fumble the ball. And Coates appeared to fall on it at the 27-yard line. Down there on top of him was Dwayne Downing.
One of the strange things for punt returner is having to face a left-footed kicker. The ball breaks different. Now watch, it'll break back over his shoulder. Right-footed kick would not have gone that way. Left-footers are tough to face. They just don't see them that often.
Coates got there before Downing did. 36-yard punt to return, a loss of 8. David Clark comes in at a running back spot for the first time. He is the tailback behind number 44, Tim Manoa, and Clark will get the ball. Tries to cut outside, gets to about the 31-yard line, and Matt Kisner, number 7, is in as Joe Paterno's quarterback. Next week, we'll be coming to you from Columbia, South Carolina, as Georgia takes on the Gamecocks. It starts at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Our coverage begins at 7 o'clock with Larry Burnett and Bino Cook hosting the Mercury College Football Scoreboard Show. So you've got almost an entirely new backfield with Kisner at quarterback, Clark at tailback, and Smith is in there as, or make it Manoa as the fullback. And they'll send Sid Lewis, a reserve wide receiver, in the ballgame. This is Manoa trying to turn the corner. Took a shot out there from Carl Pelagata, number 49, one of the safeties. And Manoa at 227 can run. There's Mayer, the young man who came out earlier, and they've got ice on that knee. And he appears to be in some pain, although he did not have to be helped off the field. He's able to come off under his own power with just a little bit of assistance. It's going to be a first down for Penn State. They have the ball at their own 40 with 1 minute, 13 seconds and counting first quarter. Clark and Manoa, the running backs in the eye. Clark, the deep man. Kisner, play action. Deep. He's got his man out there and overthrows Sid Lewis. Lewis had 2 steps on the defender, and Kisner just couldn't get it to him. Pelagato was in pursuit and just hoping the ball didn't get there.
This looked like a touchdown. The receiver had 2-3 steps. You dream about this. It's just a touch overthrown. That's one of the problems with running 2 quarterbacks. He's disappointed. That could have been 6 right there. He had a great chance. But that's one of the problems with having 2 different quarterbacks. They throw the go pattern different. They'll overthrow or they'll underthrow according to the receiver. It's tough to get the timing.
Penn State going with its entire second unit offense. Facing 2nd and 10. And they'll give it to Manoa. Tries to slide outside. Keeps his balance, and they stack him up. A lot of help from Steve Williams, who came up to help Hammer, who had him around the jersey. Let's check in with Tim Brando at the sideline. Tim?
Remember, gentlemen, we really shouldn't be surprised that Kisner and the second team is in. Joe Paterno likes some shock treatment. And last year, Kisner came in for 1 play against Alabama and threw a touchdown. So a little deja vu from LSU last week, perhaps.
Yeah, but remember, that young man who threw the touchdown pass didn't get back in for another 2 quarters.
Right.
Maybe it's not a great idea. You want to stay on the field for as many plays as you can. 3rd and 9. Kisner fakes the draw, under pressure, throws over the middle, and almost had his tight end, Bob Marasco. He couldn't hold it. Got 1 hand on it, couldn't hold, and good pass defense. McPherson was back there along with Freshman, and they stopped Penn State that time, and John Bruno will come on to punt. And the Boston College Eagles finally have something to cheer about. Kelvin Martin will go deep. There's John Bruno, averaged 39.3 on 4 kicks. The senior out of Pittsburgh. And there is Kelvin Martin, who led the nation last year in punt return yardage, had 510. Might have a chance to return this from the 19. Got a seam up the middle. Kelvin Martin to the 41-yard line.
Penalty flag, though. Bring it back.
Oh, it was a great return. 22 yards after a low 40-yard kick. And we'll check out the flag for you on kick returns. It usually means a clip or a hold. And Boston College has suffered enough penalties already in the first quarter, but they've got another one with 4 seconds to go. Well, Martin's explosive back there.
He looked pretty fast for somebody that had a bruised calf. I think he's back all the way. That's exactly what they need from him. They need some punt returns. The penalty negated this one, unfortunately.
Here's the call. It is a clip.
Clipping, red during the run back. First down.
Here comes the clip right in the center of the screen. Number 29 hit the guy. Unnecessary block. He was already beyond that block. Mr. DeFranco should not have done that. That really hurt BC.
Boston College sent back to their own 15 instead of the 41. They'll give it to Stratford, and Stratford is buried. Number 73, Pete Kirkendall out of Elmira, New York, just pancaked at the line of scrimmage.
I mentioned earlier on the punt return after the safety that there wasn't a penalty, thank goodness. There's just too many penalties nowadays on those kicking games, and it's negating all the good returns, and I don't like it.
That's the end of the first quarter. Our score is Penn State 9 and Boston College 0.